Hi everyone, I'm Alyssa Sorrencioni and you're watching Meet SRU Faculty. Today I am not only interviewing one faculty member of the university, but I'm interviewing 2 faculty members as well as 4 students. These individuals have traveled to China and back, and they are here to talk about their international experiences. Sitting here with me today is Professor Jialing Wang and Professor Jack Livingston, who advised and planned this incredible trip, as well as SRU students who went on the trip, Corey Gens and Kelsey Hansen. Now, I said before that I will be interviewing 4 students, but unfortunately our set is too small for everyone to fit on at once, so 2 other students will be joining us after the commercial break. Thank you all for joining me today. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Nice to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Good. So let's get right into it. What areas of China did you cover during your trip?
Well, we started off at Shanghai, and then from there we went to, was it Nanjing next?
And
Changzhou and Nanjing.
yeah.
Okay.
And then out to Xi'an, and then back to Beijing.
Yeah.
Okay. So from Beijing to, what was the second town that you said? I'm sorry, I'm trying
So from Shanghai, so
Shanghai.
Shanghai is a coastal city.
Right.
Then from Shanghai into Nanjing,
Okay.
which is the old capital.
Okay.
And then from there to Xi'an by train.
Right.
And then from Xi'an back to Beijing.
Right. Now, how far is Shanghai, like in distance-wise? How far did it take you to get to each city? Do you remember?
If you drive
So people
from
kind of have an
Shanghai-
idea of
Yeah.
where these are located.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you drive from Shanghai to Changzhou, it's about a 2 hour,
Okay.
2 hours, and then from Changzhou to Nanjing, it's about 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Nanjing to Xi'an,
Is
we took a
a train.
train. It's an
Oh, okay.
overnight train.
An overnight
Yeah,
train.
so we slept on. the
Yeah,
train.
so
It was-
that's definitely a longer
Yeah.
one of your
Yes. yeah.
trips.
So basically, we traveled from eastern China. Xi'an is located almost the center.
Oh,
So
wow.
we traveled to the middle part of China, and then from Xi'an to Beijing, it's a capital city.
Yeah.
We took an overnight
We
train
took an overnight
again.
train again.
Oh, wow.
So, for the United States, if you think about it, it's like going from, say, Charlotte, on the coast, as far as Chicago,
Okay.
and then kind of back around to not quite New York, but close to New York. So that
Okay.
would be kind of what the experience would be relative to our country.
Yeah, there you go. So it's it's a little bit of a ways to travel.
Oh, yeah.
But that's awesome that you covered that many cities. I'm sure you got
Right.
to see a lot.
Yeah.
So let's start with you, Corey. Before your trip to China, I'm sure you had all different perceptions of what it might be like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did you go through any type of culture shock when you got there?
Well, yeah, definitely with the food, I'd say, because we're used to going to like a Chinese buffet, eating like, I don't know, like General Tso's chicken and like Chinese donuts, which are amazing, but it's just not like that.
What are Chinese donuts?
Oh, they're like little fried dough with like sugar.
I think I've had those.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they're just
all right.
awful for you, but
Okay.
anyways, it was just like the food was just it was amazing. It was just not the same as like our Chinese food
Right.
ideas.
Not what you expected.
Yeah, definitely different. I mean, it was still really good though.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So Kelsey, what about you? Did you go through any type of culture shock?
My culture shock was basically the people. They
Okay.
they like to get close to you. They don't care if they make bodily contact with you. So,
That's interesting, yeah, because in the
Yeah.
United States, everyone, for the most part, everyone knows personal
Yeah.
space.
Right,
And,
right.
but that's funny
they're
that,
different.
yeah, I actually, I heard that that's like that in a lot of, different countries, especially European countries in particular too. So, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
So, tell me about the different things that you all did on the trip.
Well, I mean, if you guys want.
Yeah, if whoever
ahead.
wants to talk, just,
We visited a lot of temples. With, I don't know. They're nice to see. They're pretty.
yeah.
I don't know.
Do you remember the names of any specific temples that you saw?
Not now.
Yeah.
One was like the Jade Buddha, right?
Yep, Jade Buddha
Yeah,
was
Jade
one.
Buddha.
Jade Buddha.
I
And what
think
was that about, that temple?
Um,
Are there stories behind the temples, or?
It was like a big Buddhist temple in Shanghai, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it had this like massive jade Buddha. It was huge, and like there's like people like all over, and it was kind of cool because people would gather in this like courtyard area, and there's like this like thing, and they would try to throw coins in it, and if you like landed a coin in it, it was good luck. But it was like mass chaos. Everyone was just throwing coins. And it was definitely cool to see, though.
Yeah, definitely. That
neat.
sounds very neat. You know.
I think our goal in each of our stops was to move through concepts of kind of the local economy,
Right.
and then through aspects of culture, and then in terms of kind of a historical context. And so if you think about it from a geographic standpoint, those are the things that we tried to hit on. And then as we would move between place to place, then we'd often talk about the environmental issues that are associated with it.
Okay.
And so all those things kind of came in to play as we went along.
Yeah.
The other thing for me in terms of kind of culture shock, and I mean I've been there, this is not my first time, but
Right.
one of the things that was interesting with the students, I think, for them is this, when you talk about personal space, we had one of the students, Shelby Tarr, who's not here today, is a fairly tall woman. So she's almost as tall as I am. And immediately we went up in what's called the Pearl Tower in Shanghai, and people wanted to have their picture taken with her. And so that she was that unusual that they would come up, and she didn't know what to do because they didn't speak English, she didn't speak Chinese, and there were people just walking up and standing right next to her and people taking pictures.
Yeah.
So I think it was very kind of unusual for the students to just have people take their picture.
Right.
And so that was kind of a
Yeah, it's kind
interesting.
of like they were a celebrity or something.
Right.
You're-
Right,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very neat. So, are you planning on going on any other international trips, either of you as students? How much longer do you have at SRU?
I'm actually graduating in May, which is sad. But I mean, I'd really like to travel like someday, but I mean, probably not here anymore,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah.
I have a year left, and one of our professors is planning to have a trip to Nicaragua, which
Oh, wow.
I want to try to get on
Yeah, so
Some-
that'll be next spring.
in the winter.
Oh, in the
actually, This
winter.
coming winter, yes.
Okay. Well, is that just kind of like an international trip that you can just take, or is it kind of like a care break sort of thing?
She,
Do you know
the
yet?
professor wants to like trek across the country.
Oh.
I don't know any of the details.
Okay, yeah, not yet at least, but
Yeah.
that'll be amazing, to go there. So very cool. What about you, Professor Livingston?
Well, the question is when we will do this trip again, because I think
Yeah.
this was very successful, and we'd like to do that again. I just finished doing, for about the last 10 years, I've been doing a spring break experience in the Bahamas, in San
Okay.
Salvador, and so that one will probably go again.
Right.
I'm beginning to look at Cuba as another option for that, and so I'm trying to begin to develop that as a possibility as well.
Yeah, that's great.
So, but I really enjoyed doing this with Dr. Wong, so
Yeah.
I think we'll keep doing that. So.
Yeah, very cool. And Dr. Wong, you're from China.
Yes, I think the trip we did last year, we focused on urban area, more industrialized area in China. So I'm thinking maybe next time we will look at a more rural area
Yeah.
or natural environment in China. So I'm thinking maybe next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. That'd be very great. So, well, I wanted to thank you, but well, actually, when did you take these trips? When did you take the last trip? I'm
It would
sorry.
have been June, was it?
It was
May.
May.
It was May, last
Yeah.
May.
Yes,
May.
pre-session.
Last
during
May,
the
and then
pre-session.
how long were you there for?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, just to get that established.
Right.
I had it in my head and then I forgot.
Yeah, and for the students, I mean, it's at least I like to believe that they enjoyed the trip. But it's kind of it's an all-day thing. When you wake up in the morning, you're going, and so all the way through. And for the days when they were on the train, the overnight train, that was an experience too.
That was an
being
experience.
Yeah.
pushed into this little 4-compartment train was great.
Yeah. Was that the first time you both were on a train?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We also took
Maybe,
a bus
I don't
in
remember.
Yeah, you took a
Yeah.
Beijing.
Beijing
Yeah,
bus,
The whole
yeah.
group, we took a bus to
Oh, yeah.
travel to some place in Beijing.
Which is always interesting when you don't know what any of the signs say,
Oh
what
my gosh, I'm
how much
sure.
they're asking for in money.
Yeah.
It's an eye-opening experience.
Right, and even, preparation in the language. Did any of you, look at anything before you went or try to learn anything?
I didn't.
No.
Actually, it was like last spring. I took an introductory Chinese course. It kind of like, I didn't plan it to work out that way, but it just kind of worked out that way.
Hey.
And I still had no clue what was going on. Like I tried, but
Yeah.
I could just say like hi to people, and that was about it.
Right. Yeah, it's one thing to learn the language, but then being submersed into a culture, it's totally different. I had
Yeah.
that experience over in Italy, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're
definitely.
saying to me.
Definitely.
And that's exciting. I mean, for the students, again, if you think about Italy even, when you look at a sign,
Yeah.
at least the letters, and there are cognates that work. When you look at a sign that is pictographic, there's nothing there.
symbols.
And it's not even easy to remember them. If you say, okay, here's my hotel, and here's the corner signs, they don't mean anything. And so
Yeah.
it's very difficult. Dr. Wong was very wise. Whenever I would go out by myself, she'd write where I was from
That's
in a
nice.
slip of paper and give it to me, which was
Yeah.
very good, you know.
Yeah,
You
that
could always
is
just show it
nice.
to somebody and say, I need to get there, you know.
After the break, we'll be joined by 2 other SRU students who also attended the trip, Dakota Mccoy and Cohen Mcdevitt.
Hello, this is Coach Mahalik, head football coach at Slippery Rock University football, and you're watching WSRU TV.
I'm Madeline Williams, sports editor of The Rocket. I'm Kristen Karam, assistant sports editor of The Rocket, and you're watching WSRU TV.
Hey guys, this is Andy Treese, campus life editor for The Rocket, Slippery Rock student-run newspaper, and you're watching WSRU TV.
Hello, my name is Sean Lutz, assistant football coach here at Slippery Rock University, and you're watching WSRU TV, Slippery Rock University.
Hi, I'm Oda Shong, editor-in-chief of The Rocket, and I watch WSRU TV.
Chris Solomon, I'm a computer science major, and I'm watching WSRU TV.
I'm Anthony Plumberg, I'm a business management major, and I'm watching WSRU.
Hi, my name's Laura Palm. I'm a marketing major, and you're watching WSRU TV.
My name is Phil Longo, offensive coordinator at Slippery Rock University. You're watching SRU TV.
Welcome back to Meet SRU Faculty. Joining myself, as well as Professor Wong and Professor Livingston, are SRU students Dakota Mccoy and Cohen Mcdevitt. Welcome, you two. Thank you so much for joining us. It's nice to have you.
Well,
Thank you for having us.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
So, when you went on the China trip, you know, like I was talking about with Corey and Kelsey, did either of you go through any type of culture shock?
Yeah, we were in the Water Town, which is
Water Village.
and Professor Livingston decided to trick us and tell us to taste this delicious tofu, and it was called stinky tofu, so I should have had fair warning, but I didn't. It was a traumatic experience. It was the worst tasting thing I've ever.
Did it really stink?
Yes, I should have known. He said,
What did it taste like?
I don't think I can compare it to anything ever. It was
Nothing that you
absolutely
can say on television.
nothing.
No, that's for sure. That was
It was an
hilarious.
experience.
Yeah, like you said, once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime.
And that is it. That's funny. So did you have any good experiences on the trip?
Yeah, the rest was pretty good.
Yeah.
The food was different. There was pea popsicles. Did you have the pea popsicles?
Yeah, had the pea
What are pea
popsicle.
popsicles?
Exactly what they
Ground up, like green peas, ground up and frozen as a popsicle.
Do they taste like peas?
I thought they were
Yeah,
pretty good.
they taste like
I like
peas.
peas. I wonder if that.
They're not bad, really.
As a popsicle, though?
Yeah, they're
I mean,
kind of
it's
strange.
different, but I
It's
feel like
kinda
I would
strange.
try
I kind of liked it. It was.
That's healthy too.
It was.
Hey.
They
Well,
had
and that's the
you had
thing.
corn ones
They
too, right?
have corn,
Corn popsicles.
yellow corn popsicles, pea, and red bean, right?
Yeah, red bean.
The red bean ones are
Yeah,
kinda
none of them
different,
were.
too.
It
They're
was
not
something
on the
different.
end,
But they're interesting.
And there's a
Yeah.
lot of ice cream all over. That surprised me. There's a lot more little places to get just ice cream and little snacks and desserts.
Yeah.
And how about that whole street in Beijing? That
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was
yeah, yeah.
unreal. They
How
have
was
a
that?
whole it's a road, and it's pretty much as far as you can see. And they just have food stands. Anything you want to eat or could imagine eating on the planet is there. From
Wow.
you have
Scorpion.
yeah, scorpion. Scorpion's not bad actually.
No, scorpion was pretty good. A lot of us like scorpion.
That's crazy.
Yeah, scorpion's pretty good.
To like ostrich.
Yeah,
to,
ostrich was fantastic.
To dog.
Definitely eat ostrich.
Yeah.
Dog not too good.
Ostrich. I don't know
And
it's so funny.
sea stars,
Okay.
starfish.
Okay.
The snake.
Snake.
Avoid snake.
Avoid snake.
Yes.
Silkworm pupa.
Okay.
Crickets.
What about alligator?
Yeah.
They probably had it.
Alligator.
And then different parts of things, anatomy. You know.
We won't go there.
When you said
All on a
there's
stick.
all food that you can imagine, I was thinking of all types of food, like Italian.
No.
But it is.
All types of
in that it's
All
from the
types of-
southern part of China
Okay.
to the northern, to the far west. And so all the minority groups, their food is represented there. So you'll see foods associated with sheep raising. You'll see, those things associated with marine environments. Those things associated with, kind of all those things.
Yeah, that's definitely different. But I feel like that would be a cool experience. You're experiencing so many things that you've never experienced in your life.
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
that's a really
definitely
cool thing,
interesting.
and I think it's something to embrace, and
certainly.
Definitely.
On the ancient civil.
Oh, that was
City
fantastic.
wall.
That was one of the coolest things I think I've done in my life.
Yeah.
What was it?
There's a ancient city
ancient
wall.
city wall.
Not the Great Wall. We went up on that as well.
Xi'an,
But
yeah.
in Xi'an, they have it's a city wall and it's preserved fantastic. It's huge. It's what? About
7 kilometers on a side
think
almost?
yeah,
or-
around
It
and
took 2 hours. For
2.5
you to-
hours
on
to
a
go
bike
around it.
ride. It's
Bike,
flat
yeah.
and it's what? How? About what?
About 50
40,
feet,
yeah,
40 feet tall.
40, 50 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
And you ride
But
it.
it was
And we-
really cool because like everything inside the wall was not taller than the wall, so that the purpose of the wall was to like protect the city, and then everything built up around it, which was kind of cool.
Was
the-
taller.
Yeah.
Oh, that is neat.
And the view was just spectacular. You could just see everything.
Oh, I bet.
It was great.
Yeah, that is great. So are any of you planning on going on another international trip?
I graduate in May, but I've done 3 since I've been here. China was my second one.
Oh, wow.
Mm,
That's
but
great. So where'd you go before?
I went to Italy, and then I just got back from London this spring break, but graduating in May, so I think my international travels are over.
Oh, not totally.
Not
You can
totally, just
still-
with the school.
Just with school.
Yeah,
Just
just
with
at the school.
Yeah, but that's good that you took advantage of that and went on as many as you possibly could.
They're wonderful.
Yeah, that is great. What about you?
Well, I'm going to be here for another 1.5 years or so.
There you go.
And right now I don't have one specific trip picked, but you were mentioning a alumni trip and some other stuff, so I'm still open for any international travel. I try and take advantage of as much of it as possible.
Yeah.
And I've been to Newfoundland, China, and Greece through this school, and it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And so that's one of my favorite things about Slippery Rock University is we have such a great international travel program.
Yeah, we definitely do, and that's what you and I were talking about earlier.
And I think it's really important that the students understand that these opportunities are there, and there are typically on a spring break experience, for example, there might be a dozen opportunities to go, and the students really need to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And every opportunity to take a look, different departments, interdisciplinary trips, they're wonderful.
Yeah.
And they really need to do that.
Right.
And
Definitely.
cost-wise too,
Yeah,
you can't
cost
beat
is-
it though.
yeah.
We got this whole trip cheaper than what I could buy just the plane tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
And for affordable, I
Seriously.
could never travel as affordably as this.
Yeah, it's definitely something to take advantage of, and you don't want to. I feel like, a lot of students miss out on these opportunities, but it's nice the ones that
Right.
take advantage and actually make an effort to go.
Absolutely.
So, how can other students get involved with the international trips here at Slippery Rock?
Well, the one thing is to focus on the office. Pam Fergo runs the International Studies office. It changes names periodically, but I believe that's the current name for it. And that's in Kruth Rizza, and that's a place to start, is to go there, and they usually have a list of what's available. But they also have opportunities for semesters abroad, junior year abroad. That office is just phenomenally good at helping students arrange these things, see what's available to them. And so that's the place that I would start. They do wonders for the faculty as well. They are incredibly supportive of these types of trips. They help us organize them. They do logistics for us. I can't speak highly enough of what happens in that office.
Definitely. So, you know, with the trips that you both, Professor Wong and Professor Livingston, that you both coordinate, if students are interested in those certain international trips, can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely.
Both of
Absolutely. You? And again, even if they're looking for trips in other areas, you know, certainly welcome to contact me or Dr. Wong or, again, Pam Fergo in International, and they'll help out. We'd be happy to help out in any of those ways.
Okay, great. So tell me a little bit about, you know, the ways that the international offices helps these trips.
Well, I mean, the first thing they do, in a trip like this, many of the students didn't have passports, for example. So they go through the process of helping students identify how you get visas, if they're necessary, how to get your passports. They tell the students how to get hold of their international travel card, which is something that provides insurance, international insurance. And then in terms of the faculty, they help us define the price. There is some subsidy to that comes out of their budget. They're very supportive in that. And so they help all of that in terms of students. And I think they also act as a contact point for parents. You know, whenever a student is going overseas, parents get a little nervous and they want information. And so that's one thing that happens too, is that the parents can call there and get that type of information through the office.
Great, definitely. So I wanted to thank you all for being here again today. It was very interesting to hear about your experiences on this international trip to China and, you know, how other students can get involved and all that fun stuff. So I appreciate you being here today, and thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, well, that is all the time we have for you today. If you are interested in attending one of the international trips, contact Professor Wong or Professor Livingston. Once again, I'm Alyssa Sorrencioni, and thank you for tuning in today. I will see you next time on Meet SRU Faculty.